We are live now, Ashwini.
Yes. Hello everyone. Myself Ashwini Mogal, RPA developer. Today I am going to present filter data table in UiPath Studio. Before moving towards the filter data table, we will understand the filter data table via one scenario where I will show you. We will have one scenario where we will make use of one Excel, which is of XLS file. So in this Excel file, we have three columns: founding year, company, and revenue. From this file, we are extracting the data, filtering the data which is less than the year is less than, the founding year less than 2005. We need to filter the data which has the year which is less than 2005. This Excel file extension is XLX file. We will take another Excel sheet which is XLS file, which is older one. Here we have three columns, same like previous one, but the column arrangement is different and the name of the column is different. Here also we have to filter the data which is less than the founding year. Here the table name is just founding year which is less than 2005. We will make use of these both the sheets for finding the year which is less than 2005. After filtering this data, we will put the filter data output into a Excel sheet called as company before 2005. For doing this, we will move towards the studio. For reading the Excel sheet XLX, which is data 1, we will make use of read range activity from the workbook. Simply dragging and dropping the workbook activity read range, we will read the first XLS file from our folder, from our project folder. After that, we will create an output variable for the reading the first XLS file, which we will store the output into a variable called as where output dt1, which is the variable type as a data table, which is the which will store the piece of information in the form of rows and columns. After that, we will also need to read the second XLS file, which is the older version. So for that, we will require a Excel application. For reading the XLS application, we require the Excel application scope, which is under the Excel activities. We will simply drag and drop the Excel application from the activity panel for reading the .xls file. After giving the path of XLS file, in do section we will drag and drop the read range activity for reading the next data XLS file. XLS file is the older version, so we will make use of Excel application scope. After dragging and dropping the read range activity, we will also create the output variable for storing the data of XLS file into a particular variable called as data table variable in the name called as where output dt2, which is also a type of variable data table. After that, we also have to keep in mind we have to keep in mind that the scope must be in a sequence, because we will make use of these two variables in further activities. So we need to keep in mind the scope of the variables also. After that, after reading both the Excel, the next step is to filter the data. We have to filter these two sheets. For filtering these two sheets, we have the activity called as filter data table. in data table activity, we have the set of data table activities. From that we will drag and drop the data table activity. In case you are installing before installing the UiPath studio, we will make sure that you have installed the package called as UiPath system.activities.package. When you install this package, you will be able to use this set of activities. For filtering the Excel sheet, we will make use of filter data table. You simply drag and drop the filter data table. After filtering, we will configure the filter data table. uh, for filtering the first Excel sheet, suppose this is our Excel sheet. We need to filter founding year less than 2005. For that, in filter wizard, we will have to mention the input data table. It simply specifies that we should have a data table variable, input data table, where our sorry for first Excel sheet, we have created the data table variable as where output dt1. We will specify that variable name here as an input data type. We can also create a output data table variable if you need, but for now I am using the same variable as a output data table. In filter row is where we can mention our condition, where what we depending upon the condition we can filter the Excel sheet. For now we have taken the scenario as we need to filter the Excel sheet based on the founding year less than 2005. For that, I have given the name of the column name same as the column name which is in the our Excel sheet. We need to keep in mind that the column name should be same as the column name in Excel sheet, because the column name is case sensitive. After that, we will make use of operation. What operation means? Less than, greater than, equal to. Depending upon your condition, you can specify your operation. For now being, we will make use of less than operation. In value field, previously we need to specify the values into a double. Because I have updated my UiPath Studio, the now it is giving the feature to use the integer values too. After specifying the filters row, our condition, we can make use of output columns. Output columns is nothing but what all columns you need to keep in your Excel sheet where output dt1 variable. Here also you have to keep in mind that the column names are case sensitive. So whatever the column name specified in the Excel sheet, you need to give the same column name in output columns. Like I have given the company, revenue, founding year. In any other sequence, you can give the column name. There is no compulsory that you must give the column names in a sequence order. It's totally depend upon you. After this, we will press OK. Keep in mind that first input data table variable output dt1 we have filtered, and the filter values are stored in the same variable called where output dt1. After that, we have to filter the next Excel sheet. We will also follow the same steps. Like we will drag and drop the filter data table. We will put our next Excel sheet data table variable as where output dt2 in our input data table. And here also we will give the condition. Like for Excel sheet 2, the column name is different, that is founding. Same column name should be specified in column field because it is case sensitive. We have to keep in mind our column names are same while filtering. Founding, less than, same, we will give an operation like less than, specify the value. And after specifying the filter rows, we will also move towards the output columns, which all columns we need. For that, we will also keep means all the columns will be considered while giving the output, like company name, revenue, founding. Here you can make here is the changes, like company in Excel sheet it is the name of the company is just a company, and in Excel sheet 2 it is a company name. So you have to keep in mind that the Excel sheet name of the column should be matched with the filter while filtering the data. So accordingly I have given the name of the company name, revenue, founding based on the Excel sheet column names. After filtering, the both the Excel sheet, we have got the filter data into a variable called as where output dt1. Now both the variables have the filter data, like from one sheet we will have the filter data in where output dt1, and from another sheet we have filter the data and we have the output in where output dt2. For for making these two variables values into a particular by after reading both these values from the read range activity, we will create a build data table to have a particular means to have a output in a particular manner, because the you can see the Excel sheet one has the data columns which is not in arranged manner, and we have in another sheet it is also a jumbling manner, like revenue is first, founding, company name. So we will make use of a build data table activity, simply dragging and dropping the dragging the build data table activity from the activity panel, and we will give the column names. Like for column name, first I want column name, I want the companies before 2005. First column should be a company, so I have given the company, the data type as a string, and the max length. If you want to specify any specified length, you can specify. Simply click on OK, and after that I have chosen the second column as my revenue. You can say that revenue is in it is in integer. Why you are taking as a string? Because in revenue we are making use of dollar symbol, so the revenue column I have taken as a string variable. Here also you can specify the length of the revenue column. Okay. After that, we are taking third column as our founding year, which is of integer value, because it is giving the taking the output values as a 2005, 2006, like integer values. So founding year is it, data type is integer. Click on OK. After configuring the build data table with names, columns, we need to create a variable for we need to create a output variable for this new build data table. I have given the name of this build data table output as filtered where filter company dt1. The created new data table variable the created new data table, the output will be stored in where filter company dt1. After creating the new build data table one, now I want to add this set of whatever filter I have applied for Excel sheet 1 and Excel sheet 2. By using the filter data table, I need to add these values into the new data table, right? For that I will make use of for each row in data table, which is in the section of data table panel. From the activity panel, you will drag and drop the for each row in data table. For adding, why we are making use of for each row table? Simply, now we have filtered the data. Now the next step is to add this filter data into a new data table. One by one we have to add the values into a new data table. For that we will make use of for each row in data table. Simply drag and drop the for each row in data table. The best practice is to rename the activities. So I have renamed the activities as for each row in output dt1. For now we are adding the values into a new data table. For adding the new data table, we have drag and drop the for each row in data table. For each row in, we have to specify which data table we are iterating through. For being, I am iterating for where output dt1. After specifying the data table, we need to drag and drop the add data row from the activity panel for adding the rows, for adding the values one by one, for adding the rows in new data table. After dragging and dropping the add data row, we will configure the add data row. Like for being now in array row, we will configure like a current row, which will specify the row of a particular we are working on. Item array, item array for current row means on which row we are performing that row. A current item array which will convert the data into for each row to an array item. Then it will after that it will add to a our filter company, that our filter company dt. This line will add each and every value is this line will add each and every values in a particular row one by one, and we are adding into a new dt table. For that we are specifying the data table as where filter company dt1. After performing the for each row in output dt1, this step will tell us we are added the first excel sheet filter data into a new data table. Same step we have to perform for next for data table 2, excel sheet 2, like for each row in output dt2. We will simply again drag and drop the for each row. We will specify our next excel sheet data table variable for iterating through that, for iterating. After that we will make use of add data row, and we will same steps we will follow. Current row dot item array, and we will specify our new data table variable. After this, after performing this for each row in new data table, it simply says that we are adding the filter values into a new data table. After filtering, the last step is to write the values into a excel sheet. Which excel sheet? The companies before 2005, which is our output excel. We need to add these values into this excel sheet. For writing these values into a excel sheet, we will make use of write range activity from workbook. Simply search the write range activity, and you from workbook activity, from workbook panel, you just drag and drop the write range activity into a main panel. After dragging and dropping the write range activity, specify the excel sheet in which you want to add our outputs. After specifying the browsing the excel sheet in which the output should be there. After specifying that, we need to give the input as our new dt table value. Like new dt table variable name is where filter company dt1. it will simply write it will simply write all the datas which are in filter company dt1 into a company before 2005. Now these all the workflow has completed. Now we'll simply look into the after first we will close all the excel sheets. We will now run the our workflow, whether it is adding into a company before 2005 or not. We will check. It's taking time. As our The execution has been ended. Now we will check our company before 2005 Excel sheet. Do you guys remember that we are filtering the data which is the founding year is less than 2005? You can look into this, that in new DT table I have kept the third column as a founding year and the second column as a revenue and the first column as a company name. Just because this output is appear, because I have not selected the right range as a add header, so that it's not added the add headers in it. As you can see that sheet 1 and sheet 2, like we are getting this accurate results, like company before 2005, like this company we have got this 1974, and from this sheet we have got two datas, and from next sheet we have got the 2003, 1939 and 1989. You can compare the our result set, like we have got the accurate result. Guys, for reading the we can read the XLS file and write into a XLSX file, but vice versa is not possible, because the XLS file is older version and XLS file is a new version. Thank you. If you have any queries and suggestion, please let me know in comment section, or you can follow me on my LinkedIn profile. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ashwini.
Thank you.